Today we're exploring some incredible historic ruins hidden deep in the woods near Dunnellon, Florida. This area is rich with forgotten history from Florida's phosphate mining era, a fascinating chapter that's quickly fading from memory. I've explored here several times, but today I'm approaching from a different direction, and it took me a while to recognize exactly where we were. Right now we're walking along an elevated earthen path, which is actually the remains of an old narrow-gauge tramway. These small trains once carried phosphate rock directly from the mines to this very spot, the Gutenbach phosphate processing plant. Most people ride these trails without knowing they're literally traveling through a piece of industrial history. The flat, cleared areas you see around us might seem natural at first glance, but they were intentionally leveled over a century ago to support industrial buildings and operations. These subtle landscape modifications are clues that we found something special. Now, hidden among the dense vegetation, we're coming across the actual ruins of washer plant number 2. Without knowing exactly what to look for, you might pass right by this spot. One very unusual feature here is the presence of this strange slag material, clear evidence that this plant operated under incredibly high temperatures, something you rarely see at other phosphate sites. Let's take a closer look at these massive foundation stones scattered across the ground. They supported huge industrial structures, likely including the steam engine that powered the entire plant. Multiple rows of these foundation stones stretch well into the woods, revealing the large scale of operations once conducted here. One of the most impressive remaining structures is this kiln. Initially, it seemed like it might have just naturally fallen apart over time. However, after careful inspection, it's clear that most of the bricks were intentionally removed, likely salvaged and reused during economic hardships, possibly during the Great Depression when materials were scarce. The craftsmanship here is genuinely remarkable. Bricks were laid methodically for durability and insulation. Salvagers carefully removed bricks until further dismantling became unsafe, leaving this sturdy, well-preserved section behind. Notice the dark soot marks and damaged mortar, providing clues about the intense heat generated inside during phosphate processing. Nearby, we found a large metal chute used to move phosphate rock through the plant. It's surprisingly intact after decades of neglect, still showing signs of extensive use. This chute provides tangible evidence of the intense industrial activity that once filled this now quiet place. A short distance from the kiln is another intriguing structure, a small concrete building surrounded by a protective earthen mound. Given its distinct design, I'm almost certain this was the dynamite storage shed, crucial for blasting operations at the Gutenbach phosphate mine. One truly fascinating aspect of this site is how closely it parallels the Camp phosphate mine, another historical location we've explored on this channel. Amazingly, these two sites are among the few surviving examples of phosphate processing from that era. Both served identical functions, washing and preparing phosphate rock for export, making them invaluable remnants of Florida's industrial heritage. Additionally, if you look closely at these pine trees, you'll see marks known locally as cat faces. These are scars left by turpentine workers who carved V-shaped notches into the trees to extract sap in the 1930s. It's quite rare to find these marks extending this high up the trunks, serving as another fascinating layer of historical detail preserved in this area. Every time I return here, I uncover something new or notice details I previously missed. With each visit, it's clearer how important it is to document these historical places before they vanish entirely. Sites like this tell stories that textbooks often miss. Personal, industrial, and ecological histories hidden away and slowly reclaimed by nature. Very little remains of the ruins of the Gutenbach phosphate mine in Dunnellon. To help folks understand the scale and complexity of that massive industrial operation, we have incorporated artificial intelligence technology into our filmmaking process. We hope this helps folks better understand Boomtown Dunnellon. Feel free to offer comments on our use of AI technology and if you feel it is helpful in better understanding the lost history of the Boomtown.